I mean, it's just because it's so hard to retrain your brain to like think that way. Is it recording?
Nope, yep.
My brain is on overload.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh.
I just hope that it goes well, that's all.
We're gonna show up at our messy best.
Have a good run.
After this run and tomorrow.
I got like 13 more miles before the first to hit my 200.
What's the day?
What's that?
How many days is that?
The whole month of October.
But how many days left?
Oh, today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 31st, so.
That's a lot to go 13.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean,
No, that's not bad.
yeah, you just break it up. You don't do it in one shot. You know, it'd be fun. I've been wanting to start a running club.
Yeah.
So
Just do like a definitive day of the week.
yeah,
Yep.
and like we could pick a different trail, or maybe we have the same place every week, but then one day, like the first Wednesday of the month or whatever, we decide we pick a new spot, a new trail,
That's a great idea.
or whatever. And then
I'm off every Friday.
okay, yeah, Fridays actually work good for me. Fun run Fridays. Friday fun run.
Yeah, that's huge, right? Like just having some sort of thing to rely on. That's huge.
Oh yeah, it helps the brain. Like, okay, well, Fridays I'm doing this.
Right. How have you been doing with 200 miles this month?
Good. Yeah, it's been staying on target. You just break it up into like 2 runs a day. Keeps it doable. You know, like 2 5Ks.
So you're averaging a little over 6 a day?
Yeah. You know, then you miss a day there, here, there, and then you just run a little extra. But doing doubles is the way to do it.
So did you run this morning already?
Yeah. Before I came.
My God.
Yeah.
How are you getting up in the morning?
Just get up and go.
You're just doing it?
Just get up, yeah. Just got,
I'm just so tired.
I mean, the kava helps. I put the kava by my bed when I wake up, chug it, and then the snooze goes off, and you know, chug it and then go back to bed and let the snooze kick in. And then when that first snooze hits, like the kava kicks in and you just are up and at 'em. I really like it. Anything that like kick starts me in the morning, it really helps set the metabolism.
Yeah.
And keeps you just up for the entire day instead of this like slow wake up.
Yep.
And then momentum, right? That was the theme of the day, kind of.
Yeah.
If you start with a little kick and then like a run, then the momentum just keeps going.
Oh, you're totally right. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be much, just like a mile. Like anything, just to blast oxygen into your blood.
Yeah.
Just wakes up your entire brain and body.
Gets you actually ready.
Yeah, sets my heart and mind for a day, because like my solo time too, Devo time. Yeah, I kind of have a sacred spot I run to where I turn off the headphones and just walk in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I have my moment, and then I get clarity on things.
So there's actually a sacred spot?
For me, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just sacred as in I quiet myself. I pick it and I quiet. Like no agenda or plans, not on my phone. Just open to listen.
How do you pick a sacred spot?
Just anywhere in the wilderness. It's usually my halfway point on my run. So I run to it, have my space, my time, stillness, and then I might have a pocket journal where I jot things down. Oh yeah, it's nice. And then I run back.
That's so great.
The little pocket journal is nice.
Well, what do you write?
Just whatever. It's like kind of the to-do list for the day, or maybe I'll get a message like, oh, I need to call such and such person, or
Oh yeah.
or just whatever. You know, each day has enough troubles as its own, so that's where I kind of jot down, okay, what's today's focus?
Yeah.
It kind of helps me too. I call it like a redirect, because in life, like, you can get off on a tangent
Oh yeah.
and lose focus of what's important, your values.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so that's kind of like the recenter, like, all right, it's a new day, fresh start.
Yeah.
What are my values? Like, what?
Who am I?
Who am I? What am I feeling called to today? And usually, you know, I come in with my own agenda and like, oh, there's all these things I gotta do. And then in that stillness space, like, all that stuff goes away, and it's like, no, just usually it's 3 things. Like, just focus on these 3 things.
You can zone in.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now these are the 3 things that are important today.
That's fantastic.
So I really resonate with just one thing at a time,
Yeah.
instead of trying to do and accomplish all these different things in one day.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good to have that like massive to-do list, but you don't have to do all those things that day. Like,
Yeah. Because it's disorganizing.
yeah,
You know, it's like, who can really do that?
yeah.
No one.
And you're not going to be fully present. Seems like that's the theme of this training. It's like,
Oh, those guys were high. They were baking in there.
vegan, hot boxing, yeah.
Look at the moon.
Oh yeah, it was a full moon last night, right?
Yeah.
But I did this coactive leadership training that it was really neat. Was different dimensions of leadership within oneself.
Oh yeah.
Did I tell you about that?
No.
So like,
Yeah.
so picture like a diamond.
Yep.
In the center, a 4-pointed diamond.
Yeah.
In the center is the leader within.
Yep.
And that's where you start.
Like your relationship with yourself.
Yeah, or I would say the divine spark that lives within.
Yeah.
Because I think,
So like, not you, like your spirit almost.
yeah, I mean, whatever that lives within, that's non-ego.
Yeah.
Because we're multifaceted. So it can get kind of tricky when people say, oh, just tune into self, know yourself. It's like, okay, well, when you say that, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
How do you define
self that you're, and who is the self that's accessing the self?
Dude, that's like the whole field of psychology right there.
Yeah.
How do you define self?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah. So I would define self as, I have my personality, and then I have something that is divine that lives within me that I don't think is me, but wants to be in relation with me.
Huh.
But it lives
And then
within
your
me.
personality is like trying to make sense of this spark.
Yeah. And I think that spark wants to fuse with me, wants to participate with me. And so that's where you get into my will versus infinite will. So finite will versus infinite will. And to partner with the infinite, I think, is the goal.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder if that's also like transformative sort of healing, right? To like help yourself have deeper understanding of this sense of spark, whatever that is.
Say that one more time.
I wonder if that's like what transformative healing is.
You
know, when you like are able to have a deeper connection with the spark, this idea
yes.
of like, this is me. This is who I am.
Yeah, I mean, that's the frontier of understanding I'm on, is I would say, to categorize myself, there's ego, there's personality, which I would say is my spirit, my unique essence.
Yep.
there's my animal meat spaceship, my animalistic, you know, pure, you know, feed me. I mean,
Yep.
just an animal. And then there's this divine spark that lives within all that, that wants to be in relationship with mostly my spirit, my personality. And I think that would be like a fragment of God.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's different for each person.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm just saying
I'm saying like how each person would define their spark.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I think for me that's love.
yes, I would agree. That is, I would say, yeah, that divine spark is love. Because I define God as love.
Yeah.
But I would also say that it's unique. What makes it interesting is each personality is unique, and then each fragment is unique. And then to fuse those creates a whole new unique being that is even more profound.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, something that maybe happens more so in the next phase.
Existence, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard to fuse those two when you have ego and this animalistic nature.
Right, right. But haven't you met people who have a sense of peace
Oh yeah,
that's profound?
oh yeah, few and far between though.
I think that's what that is.
When those two have fused.
Well, or are like in that process.
Yeah,
And out of alignment is when people are just chaotic.
yeah, and I've been
They're
there.
afraid of everything. And,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I've been there too.
probably gonna be there again.
Most of the time when I'm there though, in the past I've just really lacked insight.
Yeah,
You know, my whole system is just clouded. I don't understand what's going on.
well the whole earth is clouded. That's part of the evolutionary phase we're in. Is it's messy.
Yeah.
So to have understanding of that and compassion for that has helped me like give myself grace. Like, okay,
Yeah.
it's a messy world, and that's okay. There's a lot. It's getting better. It could. There's a lot of potential for better.
Well, and there's like deeper meaning because life is not about things of this world getting better. It's like about relationships. And so, I don't know, I always wonder about that, like, because I feel like the idea that we're getting better is a lie.
Okay.
Because
Yeah. Expand.
I feel like we're circular. We have all these experiences, we do something, and without fail, we make horrible decisions. And then the next generation of people overcompensates the other way. They make horrible decisions. Story goes on.
I think it's a yes and in that we're cyclical, but the circles are going up. They're trending up, meaning the next dip of the down part of the circle is higher than the last down part of the circle.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Speaking on history of humanity
Yeah,
to where we are now.
well that's true because there are defined ways of measuring success. And I mean, if you really think about it, what is technology?
Yeah,
That's profound
yeah,
success, but does it actually represent substantive change from like a human element.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the tricky phase we're in, is that technology is advancing so quickly and it's so new to our human experience. But I think also it has enhanced our awareness. If you could just juxtapose that to ignorance,
Yeah.
by technology alone, like so much information
Yeah.
is accessible, and I think ignorance is one of the leading causes of unnecessary suffering and violence.
Yeah, it's true.
But with that though, you have, you know, like the documentary Social Media,
Yeah.
you have false information used to pit people against each other.
Yeah.
But I will say, even with that, it's a lesser evil.
Well, is it though? Because are we trading just one for another?
Okay.
On the one hand, we don't have any information. On the other hand, we have so much information that our brains are emotional,
Yeah.
we can't make sense of any of it. And then we're just pushed to the most radical emotional extreme connected to the information that we're being presented.
Okay. Well, let's go in reverse. So let's talk about before tech, and how would you define tech? Let's define tech first.
Oh, I don't know if you can. What is it, like books? I don't know.
Okay, well, in this context, let's define tech with any kind of
Computer?
yeah, computer, like electricity associated with a computation device,
Yeah.
like, right? I mean,
Yep.
so pre that, you had the printing press, right?
Yep.
So the printing press changed the world,
Big time.
right?
Yeah.
And then before the printing press, when we were able to transcribe on paper or stone, that was fought. Like, I think Socrates had a problem with it,
With writing?
or somebody had a big problem with, if once you write something down, you're gonna lose the skill and the ability of memorization.
Oh, yeah.
That muscle's gonna become weak, and then the ability to transfer knowledge and wisdom through word.
Yeah, I think he's right.
Okay, yes, but then could you imagine a world where we wouldn't have books, or, you know, so you see what I'm saying, like the lesser evil? Like, I think the internet or tech is like just the next evolutionary thing, equivalent or in correlation with, you know, the printing press.
Yeah.
It's just like,
right.
and so then you could argue, there's always debates
But not
when these,
necessarily lesser evil, maybe just same evil.
okay,
Because arguably, well, I guess that's where you'd have to figure out, how do you define evil?
good,
Are
yes,
people dying? Is that evil?
that's a great question. Go back to the fundamentals. How would you define evil?
I don't know. That's just something I have no words for. A lack of, I mean, in humans, it seems like evil is when people hurt other people or hurt the environment.
And what does it mean to hurt?
I don't know. Well, I guess there's a problem, right? Because it's not hurting. It's really, I mean, the only framework I know of for evil is in relation to spirituality.
Okay,
So I don't really know how I would actually define evil. We should go that side. How I actually define evil in the context of the world without spirituality.
so then you could, Yeah, what the hell? There's evil. Speaking of,
I wonder why you did that.
I don't know. He could have been dodging something over here.
How would you define evil?
Error, missing the mark of perception of reality. So if reality is love and connection, then evil would be, I think, the juxtaposed to that, like this this separation, yeah, like the believing the illusion of that you are separate, that you are alone, and then
we're evil.
Yeah, I mean, but then acting from a place of that to gain something to feel love and connection.
Oh yeah.
Because then you are probably going to use or manipulate another to feel connected and loved.
Yeah,
if you don't first believe it as is, independent of choice.
That's a great definition.
But I mean, I love that topic. I struggled with that. I still do.
Oh yeah.
But
it's hard to even have good definitions for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a good way, and this would be an interesting conversation to have next time, is to look at evil that's taken place in the world, and then well, why? What's going on there? What are the motives?
I think you're right, though. It is about manipulation. It is about a lack of knowledge of the truth.
Yeah.
But the hard part, I think, for us humans is that we don't know what the truth is.
Yeah, because it's confusing.
We're just so clueless.
Yeah. Well, and I think that comes through experience. That's why it's so good to engage with your life, because
right,
when I overindulge in something,
you have to learn. I
learn, oh wow, that's not serving me or others. This is not I do not enjoy this experience.
It's selfish.
I mean, it felt good at the time, so I'd say also overindulgence or wanting to feel that whatever good feeling from food or experience or sex or whatever at somebody else's expense. Mm-hmm. Like using another to get that fix.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. That's evil.
Yeah, because you're not considering the other person. You're just,
right,
this feels good for me and I'm going to use another. And then again, there's separation. Mm-hmm. Like this person is separate from me, mm-hmm, and I want to feel good.
Yeah, I think the first thing that I thought of with that is the meat industry.
Oh yeah.
That's horrible. Oh.
Yeah, that's a whole topic. Yeah, factory meat is
so connected to manipulation
and using for ones oh.
They don't even call meat animals.
It's again separation. It's a big distance from
bacon instead of pig.
Yeah. That's true. Disassociation.
Yeah, it's bad.
Well, that goes into the whole thing of the monkey circles. If someone's out of your monkey circle, you don't care. Mm-hmm. But once they're in, then it's oh, that affects me. So I think the bigger we make our circles, awareness and association, like Tom Brown Jr. says, what we don't know, we fear. What we fear, we destroy.
We just have to know. So
being in the wilderness, if you're in the more you're in the wilderness around animals, the less you're likely.
You understand your place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You understand that, hey, I'm actually a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem that we have, is just disconnection.
Mm-hmm. And with other cultures and people that are quote unquote different, that's why I love this farm. It brings in all different kinds of people from all around the world, and that's important.
Oh yeah, and animals too.
Yeah,
That's it's so good.
It's so good.
Well, good conversation, right?
Yeah, man. Let's put a pin in the evil one.
I know, right?
Because I want to go down that rabbit trail. It's a very fascinating one.
It's so good.
Yeah.